listening to Eat, Drink, Explore Media's Market Fresh, live every Thursday evening right here on Crush 92.5 FM. Now, broadcasting live from the heart of downtown San Luis Obispo, here's your host, Randall White.
And a very good Thursday evening to you as we kick off another live edition here of Market Fresh. Heard each and every week from 5 until 6 o'clock right here on Crush 92.5 FM. It is the 15th day of August. We're exactly midway through the month, 2013. Hope you've been enjoying our very temperate summer this year on the Central Coast. A little bit warmer today. I believe we cool back down again, though, by a few degrees over the next couple of days, and we're back into that pattern. The pattern kind of bummed me out a little bit earlier this week because I really wanted to see the Perseid meteor shower that was taking place Sunday night into Monday, Monday night into Tuesday, and then, of course, as fate would have it, Tuesday night into Wednesday, the skies cleared, and at 4 in the morning, I was taking the dogs out, and it was crystal clear. And I was like, well, of course, 2 nights earlier, and it was nothing but cloudy skies, so you couldn't see the shooting stars. But some of you possibly saw it, and apparently it was a really great show this year. So, we have a check of your Thursday evening Market Fresh forecast coming up a little later in the show. I am your host, Randall White, sharing my passion for local and sustainable foods each week. And a reminder, you can also watch a video simulcast of the show online, live, on the Market Fresh page at eatdrinkexplore.com. That is where you will also find all of the details for each of the guests that we have on the show tonight, whether they're sharing a recipe or if you just want to find their website or more information about their winery, brewery, kitchen, whatever it might be. It's all available under the program summaries at eatdrinkexplore.com. Our guest lineup this evening includes a Bay Area entrepreneur who has made it his passion to deliver fresh produce to businesses, schools, and homes nationwide, all while working to support our local independently owned farms. This is an incredible success story. It really is. And an encouraging look at how Americans' tastes are shifting from vending machine junk food to nutritious and delicious snacks, in part thanks to Chris Middlestead, founder of The Fruit Guys. Also ahead on the show this evening, we're interviewing a Central Coast winemaker who loves to also catch a wave as much as he likes to create award-winning vintages. And he's not alone. Paul Clifton of Hahn Estates is one of a half dozen hardcore surfing winemakers here in the Golden State, running up the coast from Southern California all the way into the North Coast. His favorite surf spots he'll share with us and how he finds the time to also make award-winning wines, and it is the start of harvest. In fact, he'll join us from the road, I believe, I-5, because he's in Lodi currently looking at some of the vines they have over in that part of the state. Our Thursday evening Market Fresh program does come to you live each week from San Luis Obispo, so we can get you in touch with all of the amazing produce, farmers, and fresh food options available here in our very special part of the state. We invite you to join us on Sunday mornings, too, if you haven't yet, from 8 to 10 here on the Crush 92.5 FM for our weekly Eat, Drink, Explore signature broadcast focused on current trends in food, beverage, travel, and tourism. This hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio is brought to you by Eberly Winery in Paso Robles, open daily from 10 in the morning until 6 o'clock at night with complimentary wine tasting and cave tours. Voted by Wine Spectator as one of the best tours on the entire Central Coast. Eberly Winery is located on Highway 46 East in Paso Robles. Log on to eberlywinery.com for more information. All right, the Fresh News Report, great guests, and another fun night at the downtown San Luis Obispo Farmers Market, all straight ahead on this edition of Market Fresh. I'm your host, Randall White.
It's Market Fresh on Crush 92.5 FM.
Luna Red Restaurant in downtown San Luis Obispo is the perfect spot for a weekend brunch offered every Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Enjoy farm-to-table breakfast plates such as the Ribbit Benedicts, Mission Steak and Eggs, and quinoa waffles topped with fresh market berries. Or opt for a lunch plate such as the grilled Asian-style fish taco salad or the roast chicken bacon avocado sandwich. Lounge on the sunny patio with views of the historical Mission Plaza while savoring our bottomless mimosas offered from 9:30 a.m. to noon. Hang out on Sunday afternoons from 3 to 5 p.m. and catch our live music on the patio during $5 happy hour. Luna Red also accommodates large parties, so call us today to make a reservation. Follow us on Facebook for daily specials and visit our website lunaredslo.com to view current seasonal menus, our live music schedule, or check out our happy hour offerings. Luna Red is located at 1023 Choro Street at the corner of Monterey. Come to be fulfilled.
It's now time to tap into the Market Fresh grapevine for the latest news affecting the fresh food and beverages you love. And our focus tonight is San Luis Obispo's Saturday morning farmers market, arguably the busiest market in the county. And did you know this? One of the 5 oldest in the entire state. Everyone always thinks of the Thursday night market in San Luis Obispo, but it's that Saturday market that is the stalwart. It turns 35, and in honor of the milestone, there will be a number of special events for visitors to the market each week this month, including this coming weekend, Saturday morning, August the 17th, demonstrations on how to grow herbs and vegetables in containers. Free drawings for restaurants and store gift certificates, and live music by Billy Fapiano. And it is salad season in California, so Chef Jose Dahan, I hope I'm saying that correctly, of Et Voila, I know I'm saying that right, restaurant will be demonstrating how to make flavorful dressings from scratch using only the freshest, locally grown ingredients. And Chef Jose joins us on the live line right now to share some of those tips with you and talk a little bit about the importance of sourcing your ingredients as close to home as possible. Welcome to the program, Chef Jose.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. I did okay with the name?
Absolutely perfect. like you know me forever.
French is one of the languages I have not studied, but I put some pronouncers in my script so that I could get it right. But sometimes those throw me because they're kind of crazy jumble of letters. But at any rate, Chef Jose, you will be there as part of the celebration this coming Saturday, demonstrating how to make top-notch salad dressings at home. And really, people should not be buying store-bought salad dressing, right?
No, well, it's just made in a mass product, and then produced, and honestly, I don't even know what's in there.
Yeah,
that's the thing. In my case, I make them almost every single day as I need to, and then just using fresh herbs. As most of the herbs, I even grow them myself, and then I just pick the green onion very carefully, and then I have the very best oil available, and I'm using a 18-year-old balsamic vinegar from Italy. So I really pay attention to what goes in those bottles.
Yeah. And balsamic vinegar, that's one of the ingredients that maybe it's okay to source away because that's something that bottles very well and travels.
Exactly. Actually, the one I'm using is bottled locally by Robbie Robbins, and I just buy in big tubs. And I'm also using his mandarin olive oil along with some other oils. Anyway, so I want to tell you about the market. First of all, I'm very, very, very flattered. They asked me to be part of this.
Yeah.
I've been going to the market since I moved to San Luis Obispo 17 years ago, and I go there every Saturday morning. And honestly, I go there even if I don't need anything.
We've probably bumped into each other then because that's my market. That's the market I shop.
That's the only market I like to go to. I became really friendly with all the vendors and very familiar with their operation and their product. It's a wonderful opportunity for me to meet some of my regular customers And frankly, that's a place for me to meet my next customer because I'm there talking to a bunch of people, and then from one thing to another. And so, what are you doing? What do you do with all that produce? Because I go there only tend to spend 10, 15 minutes, and I leave with a truck full of stuff.
I know that feeling. I really do. Yeah, that's the market. For entertainment and those sorts of things, the Thursday night market is definitely the place to be. It's right downtown. You're surrounded by all those restaurants and things. But when it comes to the produce and meeting the farmer and talking to the farmer, I've found, have you found this? I have found that the vendors at that market will share information with you, and I keep thinking you really need to get to your other customers, but they'll keep talking.
And what already impresses me, I'm not the only chef going there. I see a lot of local restaurants and people going there. I know I don't really know them exactly who they are, but I can recognize them because he's wearing a chef coat, and it's not Halloween, so I assume it's working and just stocking up for the weekend. And for me, I always find something fantastic, something very, it's very hard to buy ripe fruit.
Yeah.
In any market. But over there, when it's fig season, there's one gentleman, he only does basically figs and kumquat. And then next to him, there's that lady, she only does strawberries. One only does mandarin. And then there is that gentleman from Fresno, from the valley somewhere, that I don't even know his name. He's got the most amazing greens of some kind, just a pretty magnificent. So I just go from one to another.
Yeah. I just saw the figs there last weekend. I know what you're talking about.
And also the thing is, for us restaurant people, we have a little advantage because since we buy more in bulk, we are allowed to start shopping at 7:30 instead of 8 o'clock.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so you get there a little early.
It's a privilege for us because we actually, what I do, I just go around between 7:30 and 7:40 and ask them what I would like them to pack for me, and then I go back and start loading.
Yeah.
So that's the best way. So I'm out before the crowd gets in there.
Chef José, your restaurant, Et Voila, you primarily do catering, right?
Well, yes and no. We are right now until the end of the month. We are only open for lunch 2 days a week, Thursday and Friday, and then we try to open for dinner as much as we can. Where we are still in the middle of the wedding season and a lot of wine dinners and a lot of different events, and we cater. But starting next month, we'll be staying at the restaurant more, and then actually we are going to start again serving lunch 4 days a week, Tuesday through Friday, like we used to.
Oh, great.
And try to have a more regular schedule for dinner.
Yeah, you're not that far from where I live, so I need to go down there and check it out.
We just have a brand new menu, and it's been very popular, really well accepted, and it's been a lot of fun. I've been there for over 14 years. And I still enjoy every day there,
That's fantastic. So to round it out then with the minute we have left, when making, and you will be discussing this at the market as well, but when making a salad dressing, you don't want it to mask the flavor of all the ingredients. You don't want it to be what you taste. You want it to enhance the flavors of the ingredients, right?
Yes, but salad dressing for me is not just a salad dressing. You should be able to use that for other things, like... for instance, I have one that's smoked pimenton. It's just a very powerful dressing. My dressing, actually, they are bottled. I'm in the process of marketing them at a larger scale. You can also use them for grilled fish.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just one of those watery, full of gum and things you cannot describe.
Right.
They have a lot of flavor. They have a lot of fresh herbs. So if you have something more concentrated, you don't need to use as much. My dressings don't have as much oil. There's basically no salt, but they're just packed with flavor. So obviously, when you start tasting those dressings, you come up with your own favorite. Some people might like arugula. Some people say, well, I like the spinach. or for me, like that Asian drizzle, that you really need to taste that.
Oh,
It's
yeah, I have,
amazing,
and I like it.
amazing.
We're going to have
That
to...
one,
we gotta,
goes well with grilled asparagus. It goes well with tuna. It goes well with a piece of veal.
we got to end it there, Chef. I'm sorry, we're running out of time. We're up against a wall. I hate to cut you off.
Maybe I'll see you on Saturday at the market.
You will. Chef José Dahan with Et Voila.
Thank you
Catch
so much. Have a beautiful evening.
You too.
It's
Catch his
Market Fresh
demonstration.
on Crush 92.5 FM.
Luna Red Restaurant in downtown San Luis Obispo is the perfect spot for weekend brunch offered every Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Enjoy farm-to-table breakfast plates such as the Ribba Benedicts, Mission steak and eggs, and quinoa waffles topped with fresh market berries. Or opt for a lunch plate such as the grilled Asian-style fish taco salad or the roast chicken bacon avocado sandwich. Lounge on the sunny patio with views of the historical Mission Plaza while savoring our bottomless mimosas offered from 9:30 a.m. to noon. Hang out on Sunday afternoons from 3 to 5 p.m. and catch our live music on the patio during $5 happy hour. Luna Red also accommodates large parties, so call us today to make a reservation. Follow us on Facebook for daily specials and visit our website lunaredslo.com to view current seasonal menus, our live music schedule, or check out our happy hour offerings. Luna Red is located at 1023 Choro Street at the corner of Monterey. Come to be fulfilled.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Across the nation, people are stepping up for their mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, partners, sisters, and brothers. They're leading the way and walking to end Alzheimer's, the 6th leading cause of death in the nation. Together, we can reclaim the future. Walk to end Alzheimer's. Start a team. Join a team. Go to alz.org.
And welcome back to the program, everyone. Great to have you with us here. It is now 19 minutes past the hour. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I'm your host, Randall White, and you know how much we love farmers markets. Well, apparently Americans... Sorry about that. That was pre-recorded. But now we are live, 100% live. Great to have you with us, everyone. I am Randall White. You are listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network, and we welcome to the program this segment winemaker Paul Clifton. He's with Hahn Estates in Monterey County, part of the Hahn family wines. And I saw an interesting piece put together by the Wine Institute of California about a number of different winemakers here in the state, everywhere from all the way up the North Coast, down through the Bay Area, Central Coast, and Southern California. All winemakers who also have an intense love of surfing. And I just thought, how interesting is that? It really is a combination of two California icons, the wine industry and surfing, and all together in one person, or several people in this case. And so I thought, well, we'll speak to someone that is local, and Paul Clifton is who it is right now, and he joins us on the line right now, fresh back from the Lodi area. You must have some grapes there, Paul, that you were checking out this time of year.
Yeah, we've got about 1,000 tons of Cabernet that come in from Lodi. I actually have a winery up there as well.
Oh, wow.
So I was up visiting the new crew that's coming in to help us with this harvest.
So we had some reports on Eat, Drink, Explore that talked about how this year's harvest is coming in a bit early in some of the cases, specifically up in Sonoma and Napa counties. Are you finding that to be the case?
I think we're going to be pretty close to where we usually are. It's usually like mid-September.
Mm-hmm.
So we're probably 4 weeks out, it's looking like. And it kind of depends on, what the weather does over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Could make it a little bit earlier, but
we typically have that heat spike that happens right around Labor Day weekend, but because that's normal, you're sort of anticipating that, right?
Yeah, we had some heat spikes earlier in the year, in the spring, and then again the beginning of July. So the nice, it does push things ahead a little bit as far as the vineyards go,
mm-hmm.
but it also helps to acclimate some of the fruit to heat before they actually start ripening.
Does Hahn do much in the way of sparkling wines?
No, we don't do any sparkling. Our primary focus is Pinot Noir.
Mm-hmm.
Half of our vineyards, we've got about 1,100 acres of vineyards in Monterey County, and most of it is in the Santa Lucia Highlands, and it is primarily Pinot and Chardonnay.
So the reason why I asked about the sparkling wines is because I think in some cases those are already being harvested.
We
mm-hmm.
actually sell a little bit of fruit to some sparkling producers, and they actually picked yesterday and Monday.
Oh, okay.
Usually pick right around 19% sugar
mm-hmm.
For that, and so they're pretty happy with the quality, I think, this year so far.
So the Santa Lucia Highlands, as you're traveling 101 between Salinas and San Luis Obispo, if you're heading south and you look off to your right, there are these beautiful mountains that just jet up right out of the valley. The Santa Lucia Highlands hug those mountains, do they not?
Yes, it's basically a bench that you look at from 101 if you're heading south, and it's pretty much from about Gonzales down just a little bit past Soledad.
Okay.
It's a big bench that jets out, and there's actually a road that follows the actual Appalachian. It's about 10 minutes off the road, a kind of nice detour for people to hit, rather than just driving through the Salinas Valley.
Yeah, and is that the Monterey County Wine Trail that I have seen maps and those sorts of things?
Yeah, it's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. This would actually be the River Road Wine Trail, and it's part of the overall Monterey County Wine Trail.
Ah, okay. And River Road, I'm assuming it follows the Salinas River rather closely?
It's actually pretty far away. I think they call it River Road because during the winter, it's literally like a river coming down across the road.
Right?
A lot of spots. So.
All right. So you grew up in Monterey County, and I guess that then it just is pretty obvious that with all that great surf that you have right there, that you might become a surfer. And so, how long have you been surfing?
Since I was about 15, so about 30 years. Oh no, I just dated myself, but yeah, about 30 years.
I say you grew up in Monterey County. You grew up in the Monterey Bay area. Were you in Santa Cruz County?
I did live over there after I finished college for a little bit.
Yeah.
Worked at a winery up in the Santa Cruz Mountains, but yeah, I'm pretty much in the heart of Monterey Bay in Salinas.
Yeah. And so how do you find time to, because winemaking's a pretty active job, right? But there must be a certain time of year that you can maybe get out to the coast a little more.
Yeah, it's when I first got in the business about 17 years ago. I started out as kind of ground floor in winemaking, kind of where you learn the hands-on. It's called a cellar worker, and a lot of wineries during harvest. And the best time to surf around here, I should say, is like September through all the way through harvest into really March.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is, if you're lucky, you get on the night shift. So that was really appealing to me when I first got in the business. Is I was always able to get on the night shift, so I'd have pretty much all morning to surf.
Right.
But times have changed, though.
Yeah. And of course, some of the best time to go surfing would be your busiest time during harvest. But then once that's over, you have some time to get out there.
Yeah, you always make time. I mean, usually it's really early. I usually go, dawn patrol, and basically get super early in the morning, right when the sun comes up. So
yeah. Let's talk a little bit about what's the Blue Grand Canyon. I saw you quoted in this piece that I read talking about the Blue Grand Canyon right off the Monterey Bay.
Yeah, there's basically right where I surf. It's a place called Moss Landing. There's a harbor there, and actually right at the end of that harbor is where the Blue Grand Canyon starts, and it's about 60 miles long, 2 miles deep, and it has a major influence on our weather pattern down here in Salinas, in the Salinas Valley.
Yeah.
Basically, we get a lot of fog in the summertime, and then it's all being sucked in by the warm areas of King City and all the way down to Paso Robles.
Yeah.
And it burns off, around 10 or 11 every day. So it's really ideal for the varieties that we plant here, Pinot Noir and Chardonnay primarily.
So that Blue Grand Canyon literally affects two of your passions. It affects the weather and the climate to grow such amazing grapes for award-winning wines. And it also affects the ocean and the surf and the water that you surf in.
That's right.
That's
all connected.
Yeah, interesting tie-in.
Yeah.
So
I've been pretty fortunate to land in the business I am and live where I live. So.
Hey, Hahn is all about sustainable wines too, are they not?
Yes, we are certified sustainable by the Central Coast Vineyard team.
Mm-hmm.
All of our vineyards are, and we're also trying to get some of the growers that we purchase fruit from to also get on the SIP program, the Sustainable in Practice program.
Yeah, I like the SIP program. That's a great organization.
Yeah. So
I saw that a while back, and Hahn Family Wines is no small umbrella.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of property to cover. So,
but you're primarily at Hahn Estates, right there outside Soledad or in Soledad.
Yeah. It's about 10 minutes west of the winery's actually 10 minutes west of Soledad, up on the mountain. So,
right,
very beautiful place. If any of your listeners are ever in the area, come visit because it is a spectacular view of the valley.
Yeah, it's our area. Fantastic stuff. Paul Clifton, the winemaker for Hahn Estates. You can get more information at HahnFamilyWines.com. Thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Randall.
All right, stick around, everyone. We're back in just a moment with the founder of TheFruitGuys.com.
Luna Red Restaurant in downtown San Luis Obispo is the perfect spot for a weekend brunch offered every Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Enjoy farm-to-table breakfast plates such as the Ribba Benedicts, Mission steak and eggs, and quinoa waffles topped with fresh market berries. Or opt for a lunch plate such as the grilled Asian-style fish taco salad or the roast chicken bacon avocado sandwich. Lounge on the sunny patio with views of the historical Mission Plaza while savoring our bottomless mimosas offered from 9:30 a.m. to noon. Hang out on Sunday afternoons from 3 to 5 p.m. and catch our live music on the patio during $5 happy hour. Luna Red also accommodates large parties, so call us today to make a reservation. Follow us on Facebook for daily specials and visit our website, lunaredslo.com, to view current seasonal menus, our live music schedule, or check out our happy hour offerings. Luna Red is located at 1023 Choro Street at the corner of Monterey. Come to be fulfilled.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
And a good day, everyone. Great to have you with us. 33 minutes past the hour right now. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I'm your host, Randall White. And, sometimes when you have a guest on the show, it leads to other guests. And that's the case with our next guest. One of the agencies I was working with to set up somebody we had on our show a couple of weeks back said, hey, you might be interested in this guy. And, sometimes I hear that quite a bit, actually, in my line of work. And a lot of times I'm like, well, yeah, I guess that would sort of be our topic, whatever. In this case, I actually emailed the woman back and I said, your target. Every single thing about this guy just dead on matches with what we talk about here, both on Thursdays and on Sundays. And I'm really excited to welcome him to the program because I just feel like he's one of those brilliant guys that California churns out on a regular basis. Chris Middlestedt is the founder of the Fruit Guys. You can find him online at fruitguys.com. And this guy's responsible for bringing fresh, local fruit to lunchrooms and business office meeting rooms and those sorts of things all across the country, but got started right here in California. Chris, welcome to the program.
Randall, thanks for having me. That's a very flattering introduction. I'm not sure I deserve it, but thank you very much.
Well, it's well-deserved because everything I read about you and researched online, it's just you really have you had a great idea and you've gone for it. What was your sort of aha moment? When did you decide to build this fruit empire? We've been very, very lucky. I'll start with that in terms of just, it does take a lot of hard work, but we've been in the right place at the right time. And I think the time was ready for us when we were ready for this idea. And it happened to be that I was in between jobs. I was working a really crummy job at the Fairmont Hotel in the basement business services center as the fax boy, and I was 27 and I had a 19-year-old boss who was literally pulling faxes off the machine, yelling "fax boy," and I would run them up to different rooms. And at this time, I was fairly newly married, and my wife and I unexpectedly, we all of a sudden realized she was pregnant, and the clock really started ticking for me. And I realized that, I needed to do something, and otherwise, my whole life sort of flashed in front of my eyes. So I called up a friend and said, hey, I want to start a business. And we brainstormed over ideas and came up with the idea of delivering fresh fruit to offices. And I called a number of offices in downtown San Francisco. This was back in 1998 when the first dot-com wave was hitting. And a lot of people just said, hey, we're drinking Jolt Cola and eating those yellow-covered chocolate espresso beans and, gaining 30 pounds by sitting here just, programming all day. And we could really enjoy something healthy. So we had the idea of supplying break rooms with fresh fruit and convincing companies to remove the junk food or at least supplement the junk food with something healthier. And what could be better than, nature's candy, which is fresh fruit, and it's healthy and good for you. So that was the start of the business. And then it was, we've been doing this a long time now. So it's 15 years of sort of hard slogging work. And we're, still a privately held family business, and that we started it and continue to grow it and run it, and we want to try to keep it that way. And it just means sort of every day is a lot of hard work. Yeah, I imagine in the beginning, Chris, it was you hauling these boxes of fruit, to the different businesses and saying, "Here's your fruit" and that sort of thing. But but now they arrive. Do you ship them like via UPS, or how do they get to all these offices? Because it's gone way beyond the Bay Area now.
Yeah, we've been lucky in that we've had employees that have worked for us out here that. We had one employee who had roots back on the East Coast in New Jersey. And when we realized that there was, after the dot-com bust in 2001 and 2002, a lot of people that had used our service in California, specifically in the Bay Area, they had, moved back to places where they could find work. And so we would get a lot of calls from the East Coast saying, hey, I used to get your fruit in San Francisco, and we'd love to now get it in New York. And so we started to get a following, and we happened to have an employee who had roots back on the East Coast, and we moved her back there, and she started our Fruit Guys Philadelphia office. And we have a facility in Philly now that serves sort of the East Coast border, and that hub over there. And then we've got one in Chicago, one in Phoenix, and then we have some sort of minor hubs as well around the country. So we are able to distribute and buy as local as we possibly can and from those hubs, and then work with as many local farmers in those regions as we possibly can, and then, put their stuff into our boxes and then deliver it to people in that area.
In fact, you believe it's very important to protect these small, local family-run farms. I imagine you've met a lot of farmers over these, last 14, 15 years?
Yeah, we have. And, we work with a lot of small independent farmers, and we have a soft spot in our heart for the folks that are doing it independently and on their own and trying to make a go at really making a living farm work. And one of the things that's been difficult to see, especially over the last 15 years, is just how much more difficult that gets from an economic standpoint. I mean, even with the growth of farmers markets, which have been wonderful for farmers, it still is a very difficult sort of economic reality for farmers to make a go of, farming in general, but especially farming on a small plot where yet you really have to make economic sense out of every piece of fruit that comes off of your trees. And so we want to support those folks as much as we possibly can. And we've done a number of, other than buying from them, we've also done a number of sort of projects where we've given back to small farmers to help them make their farm more sustainable, either environmentally or economically. And just this last year, at the end of last year, we actually launched, even earlier than that, last year, we actually launched a nonprofit initiative called the Fruit Guys Community Fund. And, we gave away just around $25,000 in a number of small grants to help small farmers, some on the East Coast, some on the West Coast, to do projects that were going to make themselves more sustainable, both environmentally and economically as well.
That's terrific. Here in California, we're so spoiled with all the access to great produce. I imagine the boxes that businesses get here along the Central Coast, up in the Bay Area, would be filled with a greater variety of things than what people might get, say, in Philadelphia or Chicago?
I would say that this time of year in the summer, you'll actually get those kind of varieties also on the East Coast. The difference is that their season windows are much shorter. So the what we see in California, and I'm originally an East Coast person from the Philadelphia area that moved out here in the early 90s. And, I was blown away. I mean, to be honest, as a kid growing up, I didn't like apples because the only apple I knew was a Red Delicious, because that's what you got in the grocery store, And then I get out here, and it's just, your mouth is exploding with all these amazing flavors and textures of things that, I had never experienced before. And so California, we are very lucky in that we have a lot of small growers that grow a lot of heirloom varieties, a lot of really unique things. And our seasonal windows are much longer for wide varieties of produce than you see in other regions. So stuff like, for example, summer stone fruit, that stuff comes on a lot earlier here in California. I mean, you're getting stone fruit now in May, early May, and it goes all the way, it'll go, if it's a good year, it'll go all the way into October, which is unique relative to the rest of the country.
Do you find that your shipments to the businesses help open people's eyes to, some people, they've only had like an apple, a banana, some of the real standard fruits are sometimes for the first time they've tried a persimmon or something?
Yeah, actually, I mean, we joke, we have to do a lot of education because there's some wonderful fruit, like take, for example, passion fruit. We worked with this guy who's just north of Santa Barbara, John Coman. And he does wonderful passion fruit, and he's super sustainable. He actually grows his vines over an old lemon orchard, which I love. And he is these wonderful passion fruit. They're kind of egg-shaped. They're purple, but in order to eat them when they're ripe, they have to be wrinkly, and they get wrinkly and very fragrant. And, a lot of people will call us and say, hey, all these passion fruit went bad. We threw them away.
Right.
We say, no. Let us
it was just peaking.
Yeah, it was perfect. Or it's like satsumas, for example. People that have never eaten satsumas, they'll call us and say, hey, you gave me a soft and wrinkly orange, that's bad. Or like, no, it's got zipper skin. Put your thumb through the bottom of it. It peels right off. It's the Shar-Pei of citrus. You really you want that wrinkly skin. So we have to do a lot to educate folks, especially people that are just experiencing some of the varieties that are outside of just your standard navel orange or, a single kind of apple or a banana. And that's part of our mission is to, again, our belief is that, the sugar and the cola and the candy companies have done an absolutely spectacular job of marketing to people and of convincing them that, these Skittles have like 1,000 rainbow flavors, right? Well, you can actually find amazing wide varieties and more vibrant flavors in fresh fruit, but people just aren't exposed to it. And the education isn't there, and the understanding of this plethora of experiences that you can go taste, it's just not as readily understood, which kind of blows me away, right? Because this is what our bodies naturally are made to eat. And it's just a problem of our modern society, and that's one of the things that we have to counter in offices or at homes or with anybody, really.
The Fruit Guys founder, Chris Middlestedt, am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Middlestedt, yeah.
Okay, great. You can find more information at fruitguys.com. Chris, I'm wondering if you would mind staying on the line with us. I'm curious about fruit storage, seasonal fruit storage tips and ripening facts. Can you share some of those with us after the commercial break?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Fantastic. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network, and we're back in just a moment. Right here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Luna Red Restaurant in downtown San Luis Obispo is the perfect spot for weekend brunch offered every Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Enjoy farm-to-table breakfast plates such as the Ribba Benedicts, Mission Steak and Eggs, and quinoa waffles topped with fresh market berries. Or opt for a lunch plate such as the grilled Asian-style fish taco salad or the roast chicken bacon avocado sandwich. Lounge on the sunny patio with views of the historical Mission Plaza while savoring our bottomless mimosas offered from 9:30 a.m. to noon. Hang out on Sunday afternoons from 3 to 5 p.m. and catch our live music on the patio during $5 happy hour. Luna Red also accommodates large parties, so call us today to make a reservation. Follow us on Facebook for daily specials and visit our website, lunaredslo.com, to view current seasonal menus, our live music schedule, or check out our happy hour offerings. Luna Red is located at 1023 Choro Street at the corner of Monterey. Come to be fulfilled.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Market Fresh, broadcasting live from San Luis Obispo. Here's your host, Randall White.
And welcome back to the program. Now 49 minutes past the hour. We are speaking with the Fruit Guys founder, Chris Middlestedt. If you haven't checked them out yet, you should go online to, it's real simple, fruitguys.com. And Chris, thank you for holding on during the commercial break. I didn't want to let you go without learning some of your seasonal fruit storage tips and ripening facts, how to prolong the life of the fruit and vegetables that, we spend good money on. So that's what we're going to get from you now. Is it rocket science or is it pretty simple?
It's pretty simple. The biggest thing to be aware of is ethylene gas. And ethylene gas is a natural byproduct of ripening. And if you've ever heard that idea that if you want to ripen a banana, you can put it into a brown paper bag with a ripe apple.
Yeah.
That does work. And the reason it works is because the banana will respond to the ethylene gas that's given off by the apple, and it'll hasten its ripening process.
Okay.
So one of the things you want to watch out for is when you're storing fruit, if they're all ripening together, they're going to ripen faster. It's sort of like that, it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So you just need to be aware of that, depending on if you're leaving stuff out on the counter, separating things sometimes. Like if you don't want your bananas to ripen as fast, separate them away from the rest of the fruit. Also, too, like peaches, nectarines, those kinds of the stone fruits that we have right now in season. Those are climateric fruits, and what that means is that they go from that hard form, that starch, and it'll get softer and get sugar. The starch will convert to sugar taste, right? So what you're going to want to do is I like to ripen stuff at room temperature and leave it out and eat it as it ripens. However, if you do find you have too much fruit and you're saying, okay, what am I going to do with this stuff? It's all going to go bad. You can put it in the refrigerator, but what you want to make sure you don't do is you don't store any of those stone fruits between the temperatures of 36 and 46 degrees. That's what's called the killing zone. Oh. And if you've ever had a mealy peach that you think is ripe, when you touch it, it kind of gives a little on the outside, but then you bite into it, it's really mealy and almost dry.
Yeah.
That's because it's been exposed to refrigeration that's in that 36 to 46 degree temperature range.
Really? That's a very good tip. So what do you just buy, one of those really inexpensive refrigerator thermometers, and just make sure that your temperature is either below, or you wouldn't want it to be above that, but
you can have it above it. It still slow down the ripening process, and that it won't ripen as fast. You just can't be in between those two areas. And it's just the way that the fruit responds to cold. And not all fruits are like that. I mean, that's not a problem, when you're storing other fruits like apples or something. But it's the stone fruits, specifically the peaches and the nectarines, those things that are softer, those are going to have a problem in that temperature range.
Is it the temperature range that does that to tomatoes too? Because sometimes tomatoes can get that sort of mealy sort of texture. And I've heard that you should wait as long as possible to put your tomatoes in the refrigerator, that it sort of zaps one of the flavor elements.
The flavor, yeah. Yeah, I've heard that too. I think that's a good tip. With tomatoes too, I mean, again, with all of this stuff, to be honest, I recommend that the best case that you can get is you get it fresh and you're allowing it to ripen sort of naturally at a room temperature kind of state. I just think, you want to get what you eat so that you eat it when it's ready.
Yeah.
If you can avoid storage, that's really important, which is kind of how we buy, right? So we're really trying to buy, fresh from farm, bring it in, pack it, and turn it out as fast as we possibly can because of exactly this case. We really want to avoid storing stuff as much as we possibly can.
And then finally, Chris, your main target in terms of who you ship to are businesses. I imagine that businesses have found that when their employees are eating what you're bringing, as opposed to running to the vending machine, that they're more productive and sick less often.
We find that. I mean, again, there's actually kind of two interesting things. One, anecdotally, we hear that all the time, right? We hear people that'll send us emails, thank you so much for having fruit in the office. I've lost 10 pounds, or I feel so much healthier. That's an awesome feeling to have people respond to us that way. Back in I think it was 2005 or 6, we were a study that California did where they actually looked at our fruit delivered to work sites and wanted to look at how it impacted people's eating habits at home. And the interesting part that we found was that if you even just expose employees at work to just expose them to the fruit, the idea of it, as well as them actually trying it, their consumption of fruits and vegetables actually went up at home, and it was statistically significant. So the part that we find really interesting is, again, we really are huge advocates of saying you have to create this healthy environment so that, you really can, it's the show, not tell thing, right? It's like the telling doesn't work, but if you put the product out there and you give them that option, you find that people will actually pick up the healthier lifestyle much faster and at a much deeper level.
And that's working with students too.
Students, yeah, we have like a dorm snack concept, and we deliver fresh fruit to dorm rooms, and as a way to help students stay healthy, we do a fresh fruit and vegetable mix with recipes for home, and then we also, obviously do our office delivery as well for companies.
And your containers, you've designed the containers to make them very easy to transport. So people aren't getting just a sack of produce that then rolls all over the desk and that sort of thing. Describe how you've designed these containers.
Yeah, originally the idea was we wanted to design a container that if it were impacted on the sides, that it would kind of buffer the blow, so it could actually be shipped and you could make sure the integrity of the product stayed very high and strong. And so we kind of built these almost crumple zones on the outside of the box. And we actually have a patent on the box that we designed, because of this. And we now use this box and deliver it, again, all over the country. There are obviously some regions that we have to ship into from afar because, we don't have a hub in Wyoming or something right now.
Right.
But we find that the integrity stays very strong, and we've been able to do a good job of making sure that the quality of the product stays stable and strong. We also divide the box with dividers so that each fruit has its own individual cell that fits safely in. And want to make sure it stays great for people.
Yeah. Hey, that passion fruit grower, is he out of Nipomo? Do you know?
I'd have to look. I don't think Nipomo doesn't ring a bell. I'm blanking. Pardon me, but I'm blanking on the name of the town.
That's okay. We had a guy on our show that was talking about somebody who grows passion fruit in Nipomo and says it's the best place in the world to grow passion fruit. So I thought maybe that might be the connection. At any rate, Chris Middlestedt, the Fruit Guys, more information online at fruitguys.com. You can also find a link to Chris's website and everyone else that we had on the show today at eatdrinkexplore.com under today's program summary. Chris, thank you so much for joining us.
Randall, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right, make it a great day and get out there and enjoy something fresh and local if you learned anything from that segment, right? I'm your host, Randall White. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network.
It's Market Fresh on Crush 92.5 FM.